daytime work ran a little over, but I'm here and let's do this. Gotta get some 5th edition D&D campaign prep done. Now I had it scheduled that I was going to work on a map for Odyssey of the Dragonlords, magical ship. That's what this stream is going to be. It's going to be Odyssey of the Dragonlords. But yeah, I actually want to work on something that they're not even going to encounter for like 2 more months, which is kind of silly, I guess, but I don't know. There was a little bit of a discussion about it in the Discord community I'm in, and I thought it would be, I don't know, I have a lot of ideas, and I want to use them before they disappear from my brain. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me get this thing booted up. I'll be right back. All right. So this is a Greek-inspired campaign, and I guess there was this sense that they could not have a Greek campaign without having quote-unquote the Great Games. So, what are the Great Games that they're talking about? You would think that if the Great Games were going to be a big part of this adventure, that they would have really gone all out to design that part of the adventure, but they really didn't. They're basically like convoluted 4th edition skill challenges. It's pretty bad. So, what do we got here? City of Mitros. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is the fact that, here we go, in this adventure, the Great Games take place at location 22. So the Great Games that all the nations of the world come together to participate in Magical Olympics happen at this little tiny spot right here. Not this giant amphitheater thing that has, room for spectators and stuff, but this tiny slab of rock on top of the mountain. Yeah. It is smaller even than like a small temple. Like it's the size of a house. Yeah. So obviously, first thing we're going to have to do is say that off the map, to the northeast, is where the actual Coliseum is, because we're not going to have the games take place on a slab of rock that's the size of a house. So that's the first thing we've got to do. All right, let's see what else we need to do to sort of patch things up a little bit. Let's see. I think I already brought over Coliseum Maps for this. It would be really cool if I did. So let's scroll through and see if I had the foresight to do that. Yep, cool. So I already have something called Coliseum. Now these are from Shizupiku. They're amazing. And each map, we're going to have each map inspire something cool to do for these great games. Because we'll go over real quick, just so that I can say that I went over, in my head, what the great games were. But basically, where are you at, Great Games? Great Gardens, the Harbor, Stygian Row, Temple of Etheria, Minotaur Market, Mount Volton, Great Games, okay? Does Great Games have its own chapter? Oh man, where the heck you at? Maybe they've got like a sub-chapter on the bookmarks here. The Palace, the Throne Room. Now, admittedly, I think the Great Games are optional, right? Like, you don't have to do them. if you have a whole group of like nerds that aren't into sports or whatever. I mean, I'm not into sports, particularly not into the Olympics, but whatever. All right, so the great games. Great games have a history, blah, 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 is violent, regime campaigns, sports, sports for sports. Okay. As a lot of stuff in this adventure, we get a whole bunch of conflicting information. So, the strongest spellcasters in the city make sure that nobody cheats with magic, but at the same time, they encourage you to cheat with magic, which is a little confusing. They give you a list of athletes, which is pretty cool, and they have associated stat blocks, which I guess is kind of cool. I feel like obviously this is meant for the player characters to win, because I can't imagine any player characters not being able to defeat any of these stat blocks at anything. Especially if they just got back from grabbing the Ultros and now they're level 6 and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Then you go to the actual thing and there's a daily sacrifice. So if they haven't dealt with the racial tensions of the Minotaurs already, it's going to get stuffed in their face again. So fortunately, my group has already dealt with this. There will not be daily sacrifices of Minotaurs. They will just sacrifice oxen and, get on with their day. So we've got these competitions. You're allowed to have a magical partner. Now, this seems like good writing at first, because it's like, hey, this allows spellcasters to do something special so that they don't feel left out of the session. But they do have like the great debates, which are hosted by the Academy, right, of Magic. So like, why not extend the great debates into like a nerd version of like the great games and actually have like magical duels and stuff as a part of that, so that those characters have an opportunity to shine as well. I get it. I run paid games. I want everybody at the table to feel like they have an opportunity to play. It's only a 3-hour session. Nobody wants to sit by and do nothing. But sometimes the game, right, this collaborative game, you are there to cheer on your allies, right? So sometimes you can just sit back and enjoy watching the game that you are a part of and watching the people that you support and are friends with, right? It can't be everybody's birthday every day, right? You go to your friend's birthday party, you don't have a present to open. It's your friend's birthday. So, like, there's going to be times in the campaign where maybe there's just nothing for you to do. That being said, it's cool that you could team up a spellcaster and a regular person, except the things that they want you to do are so inane and so boring that, like, if you add magic to that, it's just going to get silly. It also kind of excludes any normal ass people from participating, because, like, how many strong magic users are really available to these people? So, like, I don't know. So basically, the competitions are jumping. How far can you jump? They give you some math here. You roll a check and you jump. That's the event. Then we've got running. You have to run. Okay, cool. So Tabaxi Monk with Longstrider, and we're done. Okay, so yeah, it's like, it's kind of weird. And then they got Javelin Throwing. Okay, so you do a series of skill checks. Whoever gets the highest wins. It's cool. Discus Throwing. I mean, it's exactly the same as Javelin Throwing. Let's do that again. Let's roll some dice again. That's exciting. All right, then we got wrestling. Wrestling's pretty cool, except you're wrestling a black bear. I mean, my dudes wrestled a Cerberus into a lake of lava. Nobody's gonna watch them wrestle a black bear. This is stupid. Yeah. Then we got boxing, and instead of boxing other people, you're boxing a bear, or I guess you're boxing a bear to get into the thing. It seems very mean to the bears, for starters. So there's all the solo events that just boil down to a series of dice rolls. So we basically could just play Shoots and Ladders at this point, or Candyland, and call it a day. I don't really see the point. So then we've got the Great Relay. Okay, so you get the Great Relay, competing teams. It's going to be 3 teams. Okay, well that's cool. If you have a group of 6, they could all compete against each other, right? You could argue that they all made it to the finale, unless you just want to spend like weeks and weeks of your life having relay races in Dungeons and Dragons. Um, yeah. So they have these teams that they're on, or the whole party could just be one team representing either Astoria or Mitros, and then they go up against the other ones. So they've got this, and then you think to yourself, this is going to be pretty cool, but like, it's not. They're just going to run 300 feet on the beach, and then there'll be some lions. Some lions in this super fantasy Greece. They're going to fight some lions. And then they could do underwater swimming. That's cool. Are there sharks with laser beams? Nah. Nah, they're just swimming. That's it. It's just another skill check. That's all. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. What's the next part? Climbing. Oh, okay, this has got to be different, right? No, it's just another skill check. Cool. Okay. What about this last part? Like, it looks like this got some fire snakes. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, you just make another skill check. Oh, but they're all different skill checks, right? No, they're all just athletics checks. Cool. Okay. So what's the last part of the relay race? Oh, well, they have to roll another athletics check. Cool. Okay, and so what happens then? Well, that's it. That's the Great Games. Oh, okay. Do they get some kind of amazing prize? Well, they get some medals that are worth money, but it's discouraged for them to sell the money. Oh, okay. Oh, and they get XP, but we recommend that you use milestones. So I don't really know what these XPs are going to do for you. And that's the Great Games. Yeah. So I feel disappointment as a bonus action about this entire thing. So that is why I'm going to write my own stuff for this, because, yeah, just don't like it. So we're going to get our friend Google Documents open, and we're going to go ahead and write our own Mitros Great Games in 40 minutes or less, because I spent the first, 12 minutes complaining like an old man Muppet. All right. So Mitros, Great Games. Cool. All right, so we've got the preliminaries. And if you care about spelling, I'm really sorry, because I'm going to destroy the English language. Preliminary games. And this is going to be the standard basic bitch stuff that they described. So this is going to be boxing, wrestling, throwing, discus, and javelin. Okay. And then, let's see. How could I forget running? There we go. And jumping. All right. So people are definitely here to play a game, so they're gonna want something to make it feel more like a game. So what we'll do is we will divide these up. Okay. There we go. But honestly, both of these throwing things involve, yeah, you know what? Let's do Discus and Javelin as the same event. And then we'll add Archery. Sweet. Okay. So these preliminary events, basically, PCs can auto-qualify if they meet certain requirements for each event. Else, they may attempt an associated skill check to see if they would have succeeded and qualified for the great spectacles or the grand spectacles. There we go. All right, so for boxing, essentially, you can auto win if you have, let's see, training in athletics, strength of 15 or higher, any sort of unarmed strike or natural weapon. All right. If you don't have any of those, you would need to do a untrained strength melee attack roll versus AC 12. It's not that hard to qualify. You could do it. You could do it. But see, not everybody could do it, right? Because an 8 strength wizard is probably not going to be able to qualify in boxing, but damn, it would be pretty funny if they did. So that's kind of the idea behind what I'm doing here. All right, so same thing with wrestling. We're going to do, here we go. Wrestling will be easier to qualify for because you could do acrobatics or athletics, strength or dex. And then we're going to take that one out. There we go. What is the, so any feat related to grappling. Say any feat or ability related to grappling. And then, if you do want to make it, you have to do a athletics or acrobatics skill check. DC, we'll make it a little bit higher here because it's not untrained. Well, actually, it will be untrained because if they're trained, they would automatically make it. So we'll go ahead and make it 12. All right. And we're going to also mention that during the preliminaries, no magic may be used. Competitors all wear bracers that glow if magic is being utilized. Cool. The idea here is to honor the olden ways of sports and, you know, make sure people are competing all natural. Alright, so what do we got here for throwing, discus, and javelin? Straight up, if you have proficiency in martial weapons, you automatically qualify. If you have a strength of 15 or higher, you already automatically qualify. I think that works. Otherwise, you've got to make an untrained strength range attack roll versus an AC of 12. Alright, easy enough. Moving on to archery. Alright, or proficiency in the longbow. Okay, you could qualify for this if you have a dex of 15 or higher. Otherwise, you have to make an untrained dex ranged attack roll against AC 12. See, it's just the same stuff regurgitated over and over again. There we go. Alright, so running. Running will be training in athletics or a con of 15 plus. A natural speed, we'll put land speed, above 30, Let's see. Else, the only other way you can get in would be, we'll say, athletics check versus a DC of 12. I don't know why you would want to compete in this event if you did not have the stuff, but there it is. Alright, and then for running, same deal, except we'll also include acrobatics, or sorry, for jumping, so we'll also include acrobatics. Here we go. Alright, so let's zoom in a little bit more here. Training in athletics or acrobatics, strength or dexterity, and then any feat, or, there we go, same thing up here, or ability that enhances jumping. Else you've got to do that. There we go. So we just covered all the basic stuff. Anyone who auto qualifies or successfully makes a check to qualify is allowed to describe to the group how the event went, exceptional storytelling can earn Olympic gold. Okay, make this one word. There we go. All right, anyone who, there we go. Olympic gold is like DM inspiration, but can only be used during the Great Games. And, oh, here we go. We'll just put, you can have more than one Olympic gold at a time. Or unlike DM inspiration. There we go. All right. And that's it. That's all I want for the preliminaries. Like, this is, everybody in the world can come and compete against everybody else with no magic. Everybody's just come as you are. This is who you are. This means that, like, the strong farmer or like the vineyard's daughter who's like really fast, like, this is their opportunity to go and win a medal and kick ass. So that's what these preliminary games are for. This is for the common folk, the normal people, and it allows them to compete alongside like heroes that you know, and famous people and things like that. Moving into the next stage of the game, this is where we just inject it with nitrous and steroids and everything else. So this is going to be the grand spectacles. All right. So in the grand spectacles, this is where you could start adding magic and stuff like that. In these challenges, magic and supernatural abilities are not only allowed, but encouraged. The challenges these athletes will face are sometimes deadly. All right. But the glory gained from victory is that much sweeter. Okay, and now we're going to look at these maps and let the maps inspire us to come up with some cool challenges. All right, So first map we have is rocks. Okay. Obviously there's some cool stuff we could do with rocks. I like the idea that we could make this a jumping thing where you don't want to touch the floor. Hey, what's up? We're doing Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Prepping like for 2 months from now. Yeah. Because I felt super inspired to do so. So up here in this booth is where the famous people are going to be. So Acastus, the King, Valis. We'll have to throw a couple more chaise lounges up there or something, but that's where all the famous people are going to be. And then the arena itself is just going to be full of peeps. If this is a good time to decide, if we don't feel like this is a big enough arena for all the people all over the world coming to witness, we could change the scale of this map, because I think it's already a pretty big Roll20 map. I don't even know if I'll still be in Roll20 at this point in the adventure, but we'll have to see. Yeah, it's already at 80 by 60. So what we could do is have the grid size here. Oh yeah. Now we got this ridiculously huge chair right here that we would have to fix. But everything else, I mean, giant statue is giant statue. That's not a problem. And just lots of people could gather in the crowds. That gives us a much bigger arena to work with. Do we want a bigger arena is the question, though. We could just say that these are the closest stands, and then the stands just go out and out and out and out and out. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. For now, I'm going to switch it back to the original, now that I've seen what both of them look like. Let's see. Oh, man. Roll20 Dragon. It is Dragon. Oh, jeez. Okay. It's now negative 175 pixels. That's cool. Man. This program. Alright, I think it's calmed down. Nope, it's still broken. Alright, I'll just refresh it. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, wow. It completely logged me out of the program. That's exciting. Okay. Let's see. So I guess while it's loading, I can work on this. So ideas for rocks. I like the idea that there is something on the ground that is going to kill you if you fall off the rocks. So I know that boulets were not mentioned in the available monsters or the indigenous monsters of Thylea, but they are a lot of fun. And it would be neat if they had a few that would rise up and grab you if you were down on the ground. So, that's an idea. There's a threat on the ground, you gotta stay on the rocks. It's essentially a floor is lava situation without actual lava. Apparently some people worry about falling into lava, dying forever. So, we have to avoid that. Let's see. Especially in organized sports. Apparently lava in organized sports is not okay. Alright, let's see. 70. And then 1. And then... okay. Now, the maps themselves aren't loading, but... yeah. Wow. It's gonna be nice. Finally move over to Foundry. Okay. Yeah, this actually might be 3 months, because I might have to take a couple weeks off for migration in September. So we're prepping way in advance, which is never a bad thing. If you feel inspired for prep, you should always just ride that inspiration. All right, yeah, I like the idea of people running along these rocks and then jumping from like rock to rock. All right, so what I'm thinking is there's Boulay, hunting the sand. And then they have to essentially, we could like sports ball this up. They have to take a flag or gather up flags from around the arena. And they're only allowed to grab their own flag, but they could certainly impede other people from getting the flags as well. Might be kind of cool. So it might be like collect 4 flags and bring to center before anyone else. Yeah, so we could do like, let's see, am I on the object layer? Yeah, so we could do like a flag here, a flag here, here, and maybe even over here by the crowd, really get them excited. And then they have to bring all 4 flags to here before their competitors do. And it's just about running, jumping, and not, getting knocked into the sand. Because, of course, in the sand is where we'll have adorable boulets, and the boulets will come and eat everybody. Let's see. Do we have some boulets? Is it just one? Just one L? I guess it is. All right, yeah. So, like, these cuties. There we go. We'll have a bunch of those, like, swimming in the sand, and they're going to jump out and kill you when you get too close. And there'll be an initiative, and they'll basically be following movement, and the players can do clever stuff, like kick rocks to, like, make sound go other places so that they'll chase them. I think this is pretty cool. So, that is the Rocks Challenge. Great. Infinitely cooler than rolling some athletics checks, in my opinion. Alright, so let's see. Do we have any other... We have a lot of variations on this map, so let's look at something else. Okay. This is hype. It kind of looks like some jousting, which would be kind of cool. Right? Because there's like... I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would say this is some sort of jousting situation. The Dragonlords come from like a more Western setting, so it might be kind of cool to do like a jousting thing. Man, it might be a little racist, but like a centaur joust would be kind of hype, where like the centaurs are jousting, and then the knights on the back are jousting, like double jousting with centaurs. That might be kind of cool. I know normally centaurs don't go in for that, which is what makes the certain centaurs later on in the adventure more exciting. I also know that horses are not indigenous to Thylea. They were kind of brought over with the settlers. So a joust would be kind of cool as sort of a throwback to those older times. And there are already established rules for jousting out there that could be used. Yeah, that might be kind of cool. But one of the preliminaries was not riding, so I don't know. Chariot race. Yeah, that's true. And then this is in the center so that they don't... I don't know. I don't know why this would be in the center then. Like, maybe there's people in the center that are attacking you as you do your chariot race. That'd be kind of dope. Like, there's like a contingent of bad guys that are... Not bad guys, but, obstacle makers that are kind of running back and forth, creating... issues there. So what is this even called? We'll call this the Lion's Lane. And alright, so we got chariot and we got jousting. Those are 2 possible ideas for this map. If we did let's make sure we're back on the correct layer. We'll get a fat marker, a really fat marker. Yeah, so they could do chariot race like this, right? And they have to do a certain number of laps, and of course this would be the finish line, like right in front of the king. But I like the idea that there would be like people in here whose entire job is to just make things difficult for the race, like Mario Kart style. Like they would just throw out like random obstacles that you have to deal with while you're chariot racing. That would be kind of hype. And they basically just go back and forth, just littering the battlefield with crap. Could be kind of cool. Oh, and there could be support items as well. So you could have basically your teammate, your pit crew, could be throwing out obstacles to try to affect the racers, but also beneficial stuff to help you. Oh man, that would be super cool. All right, that's a mini game and a half right there. So we'll just call it Chariot Mario Kart. Oh yeah. Yeah, like throwing out like grease spell templates and just, straight up banana peels and oh wow, we could have them like you could let turtles loose on the map to simulate turtle shells. I'm sure we got some turtle miniatures here. Yeah. Oh yeah, this would be great. So, yeah, that would be really fun. Well, yeah, I don't think we went through Ninja Turtles out there, but yeah, I like that. All right, so this will be, and here's the thing: I'm spitballing ideas for each map, but I'm not going to fully develop each map until I run them past my group, because I'm not going to spend time developing like a mini game in D&D if no one's going to play it, right? So one of the worst things that could ever happen is the DM spends like 12 hours designing this amazing mini game, and then no one wants to play it, and then the DM feels like he wasted his time, or she, or they, and then they force their players to do it anyways. I'm looking at you, Final Fantasy IX, making me enter that card tournament when I didn't want to. Yeah, so that's the thing. So I want to have some cool ideas to float past them, but I'm not going to bother fully fleshing them out unless it's something that they really want to do. All right, so I like that quite a bit. I will not have jousting. We'll make this a Mario Kart minigame. Sweet. All right, so let's get rid of that. And check out the next map. There are a lot of them. Oh, okay. Flooded area. This could be cool for swimming. This could be a swimming and diving situation. So, like at the bottom of the pool, you have to go and collect a certain amount of things, like maybe like shiny drachma coins or something like that, and then you have to bring them up to the surface. And then to complicate things, there could be some critters down there that are, of course, trying to stop you from swimming down and getting the coins. So I kind of like this one. So we'll call this the diving platform. And basically it's a diving competition. Diving and swimming competition. Retrieve coins. Avoid hazards. Alright. Seems simple, but seems fun. Let's see what else we got. Oh, wow. Alright. Yeah, that could be like halfway through. Halfway through, they just straight up summon a kraken. That's kind of nuts. Maybe just these are just spell tentacles, like a massive Evard's tentacles. That might be kind of cool. All right, so we'll do halfway through. Summon massive tentacles. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay. I can't tell if this is like a tornado in the middle of the arena, because it's kind of hype if it is. Oh man, yeah, okay. So let's go back to the object layer. So we've got like a tornado going on, which is pretty bananas. And then there's an eye of the storm here as well. Okay. And then there's like an outside area that is still affected by it, but not too bad. What if this was like a run and gun, like top-down shooter arena, complicated by the fact that there's a tornado in there? And basically, the only way you're allowed to take out your fellow competitors is to shoot them. But because there's a tornado going on, the only place in the arena where there would be no penalty to your shots are shots made within the eye of the storm. And then when you're in the storm itself, there'd be like force movement and stuff like that. We can call this Eye of the Storm. And it's an archery Well, we could do archery and ranged. Nah, I think we'll just stick with archery. Archery, run and gun, laser tag. All right. Let's see. Force movement. As per, what's that spell? Gust of wind? Nah, maybe. I gotta stop calling it crotch laser, because then I'd probably be able to remember the name of it. Yeah, okay. So we use the gust of wind stats. Okay. Force movement, a la gust of wind. And then penalties to all range attacks. Unless in the eye. Or unless within the eye. There we go. Alright, that'd be kind of cool. Okay, so these are all just ideas. Nothing set in stone. Let's see. Tobacco. Whoa, that's kind of crazy. Okay. So on the Discord community I'm on, it has been floated that it would be awkward in a really cool way to have the two big bads, the Twin Titans, attend the Great Games. And then some people even went as far as to say if like enough shit got talked, the Titans would just basically be like, sure, let's prove ourselves in battle. And then this could just be, they kind of magic god snap their fingers and the arena kind of changes into this craziness. Alternately, could save this arena map for Lutheria's underworld, or even throw it into the final dungeon, because there's a final dungeon that has a lot of weird, crazy, cool stuff in it, and could certainly benefit from some more, so that might be kind of cool. Could also use this for a nightmare sequence. I don't really know if this is going to be on televised sports, though. We'll call this the Hell Arena. Possible secret boss fight. Alright. Let's see what else we got. Okay. This seems pretty straight. You got a King of the Hills situation right here. There is a really great Battle Royale scenario and a really great name for it that my buddy Lionshead Gaming, who does an Odyssey campaign as well, they were like, call it the Battle of the 100-Handed. Basically 50 people, assuming they all only have 2 arms, or at least have 2 arms, would be 50, would be 100 hands. And then Kentiname, who is the father of the Titans, he is called the 100-Handed one, even though he has way more than 100 hands. But it'd be pretty cool, because then you could put like hands all over the battlefield as well as like obstacles, and then this could be the map for that big battle royale, which would be kind of cool. 100 hands, and I'll just call this the King of the Hill map, or the King Arena. There we go. Yeah, that works for that. All right, let's see what else we got. Then we've just got a place where you could wash away all the blood. Yikes. Okay. So this would be more like a blood sport arena. This could be a cool one just to fight a big-ass monster or a group of big-ass monsters. Also, given that there's a lot of extra room on this map, could go and add walls and do like a labyrinth, like Harry Potter Goblet of Fire situation, where people start in different parts of the maze and they have to make their way to the center of the maze. I feel like we'd have to put something cooler here in the center than a spooky grate that they drain the blood into. But yeah, we could always just like lay different asset down on top of it, or do a quick change in Photoshop. That wouldn't be a problem. Alright, so we'll put Battle Beasts or maze challenge. And then, of course, if there's Minotaur PCs, you could always give them like a little black and white overlay of the maze, which would give them a huge advantage. I know my guys would try to just bull rush their way through the walls, so we'd probably want the walls to be made of some kind of metal or reinforced to kind of slow them down from doing that. It would still be cool to have them smash through the walls, but it would also slow them down because every single wall that they smash would be an action that they could just spend moving through the arena. So I like the idea of having like a maze that they have to go through. I doubt any of my players will be excited about doing a maze arena, so that's probably one we won't ever have to work on. Here's another one that is just sort of a blood sport without. So I'll just put with or without drain. All right. Yeah, so this is kind of a basic one that we could turn into a maze, labyrinth type thing, or just use it for battling, or use it for the Battle of 100 Hands. But I really like the one with the raised pedestal in the center, because I feel like it has sort of a like King of the Hill vibe to it, which is pretty cool. All right. Oh yeah, that's true. The King of the Hill could just represent the center of the maze, since it had 4 different paths that lead to it. Okay, so I'll put that there as well. Or maze. Okay, so now we've got the Mario Kart one, but just with some lions. Like there's no raised platform in the center where your pit crew can throw items out to hinder and help. So this would be more like a weaving in and out of lions sort of thing. This could be pretty cool if the lions themselves. I'm going to reference a super old movie, like Never Ending Story style, right? If they shot like magic out of them. So getting past each one is sort of like a dexterity or reflex save all by itself. And then the idea is to go over here, grab a thing, and then make it back over here. That might be kind of cool. So like a relay race, but like the relay race of death. So you have to go over here, grab a MacGuffin, and then bring the MacGuffin back over here. Seems simple. Except each one of these is trying to kill you as you go. So it's relatively right, not that far to go. But we could have mechanics, some just real quick minigame mechanics that you can spend from your action economy, like your bonus action to get like a +2 on your save, or a full action to get advantage on your save. So there could be like the diesel truck solution where you just rage and hope that you survive the damage. And then there could be the my saves are so good already, I don't need to worry about it. And then there could be the people that take it cautious and tortoise versus the hare kind of thing. Could they attack the lions? I think the idea for this challenge would just be to show that you are dexterous and quick enough to not be killed, essentially. Like they got, healers on hand to help out. But the idea would be each of them's kind of firing lasers down at you. The question here is, do we have them mix it up? Like, are some of them going to be attack roll based, so your AC is what matters? Some of them could breathe out like poison cloud, so you got to have Constitution save. One of them could be a dexterity one. One of them could like flash like a hypnotic pattern at you, so you have to do like a wisdom save. I mean, that might be kind of cool. So this is like the ultimate like endurance test. Can you make it through this gauntlet and back? Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I mean, again, these are organized games, so you could just make it ooh, you know what? We could do armor class, constitution, dexterity, wisdom, and then the last one you do have to attack, cuz once you pass these two come to life, and we'll give them like the stats of clay golems or something, because clay golems are really strong. And they're not too fast, so you should be able to get away from them, but that would be kind of cool. But yeah, when you do a mini game like this, if you just explain to them up front, like, hey, here's the thing, your job is to go here and come back. But yeah, like, what if the players are thinking outside the box and they're like, I'll just break the lion? Yeah, we could definitely do something that if they attack the lion directly, it would animate as a clay golem. If you do not recall a clay golem stats, they are a good golem. Let's see. They are CR9, which is going to be brutal, right? But they are slow. They only have a speed of 20. So essentially, attacking them and bringing them to life would complicate things tremendously. But anybody with any decent speed could stay away from them. So there is that. Let's see. Is there a way that they go faster? No. They're just healed by acid. So that's not an issue. Ooh, that could be the Dex one, as it sprays out acid. Though that feels really gross. Like, I'm going to watch sports and I see someone melted by acid. I don't know. I mean, I liked watching the guy melted by acid in RoboCop, so maybe I would like it in the sports arena. Also, the 20 speed can be improved with haste, right? I think +2 bonus AC, advantage on dex saves. Okay, it doesn't increase its speed, so it's still going to be slow, but you're going to have to go back the way you came. Like, you won't be. There'll be like a line in the sand, right, where you can't go out of the area that you're supposed to be in. So you got to get it and go back. I like that. I like that a lot. So we're going to call this Lion's Gauntlet. Okay. Series of defensive challenges. And test of speed. I like that. That is going to be fun. That is going to be way more fun than rolling 17 athletics checks. All right, I'm actually going to take a screenshot of those notes. Bam. I'm in my other monitor. There you go. So since we actually have notes on the screen, that'll help me remember what's going on. If I decide to flesh that one out, I took a screenshot, put it in there. All right, let's wipe the slate and check out the next one. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I think that's going to be fun. Hope they decide to do that one. And any of the ones that they don't decide to do, I'm just going to narrate, like, what happened. So, like, you know, oh, your buddy Bullbug entered, and he had half his face melted off with acid, but he won in the end, and now he bears the scars proudly forever because he's the champion of the Lion's Gauntlet, and, you know, that kind of thing. And totally American Gladiator style, every one of these stupid minigames needs to have an outrageously cool name, so that's going to be important. All right, what else do we got? Oh, that's spooky. Oh, wow, that's spooky. Oh, man. Yeah, this is another map that we could use for the Underworld, which would be kind of hype. Let's see, we'll call it Lutheria's Arena. Because Lutheria is all about them blue crystal weapons and blue colors and edgelord stuff. Also, if they decide to start shit with the Titans, they could also be put into a scenario like this. Maybe Lutheria, if they are super rude to her, makes them fall asleep in the midst of their competition, and then the arena changes to this. That could be kind of cool. So save this map for Lutheria related fuckery. There we go. All right, let's see what else we got. I would say, like, we could use this for, like, the nighttime events, but, I mean, nah. Whoa, that's amazing. Holy shit. I know it sounds like I've never seen these maps before, but I have a lot of maps, and I don't have a lot of brains, so it's like I'm seeing them for the first time. That is dope. Oh my god, that's cool. Okay, Okay, what could we do with this? Oh, wow. Obviously, these are going to be walls of fire, right? Like, we got to have these be walls of fire. How far out would the walls of fire be? Walls of fire kill people. Holy shit. Maybe the walls of fire go out like that. We definitely have to use some templates to show just how far out the fire goes, for sure. Or these things fire lines of fire on their initiative. Ooh, that's pretty cool. And then you have to plan around it, and each of the statues has its own initiative. That would be cool. Either way, what kind of stuff would you fight? You would fight some Cerberuses. That would be amazing. Maybe Cerberuses that have been provided by Lutheria. Because, I mean, she's invited to the games just like everybody else. So it could be like, you know, a rematch kind of thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. That would be super cool. Okay, so we'll call this... well, I'm sure Vulcan would totally be down for this. Vulcan's Anvil would be kind of cool. Like, you're kind of smashed. You're basically getting smashed by these huge monsters while dealing with fire. So huge monsters, fire hazards. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Let's see what else we got. Whoa, that's pretty cool for a swimming thing. I did want to have a ship battle one where... Did I already bring over the Ultros? I did. Okay. So, unfortunately, there are not a lot of people making adorable Greek ships. I think they're called like a Tresemme? Oh man, I don't know. I really gotta like learn this shit. So this is the ship that they get normally, and it's a very big ship. You can see the grids on it and everything. So this is the ship they're gonna get eventually. So this is too big for this arena, but it would be super cute if I had a bunch of little Trisomes and they had to have like a ship battle, like a naval battle, while also dealing with a whirlpool. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm gonna call this the whirlpool map for now. And historically, Roman Coliseum was actually set up that they could flood it and have miniature naval battles. I remember visiting the Roman Coliseum when I was a kid, and that was the number one thing that blew my mind, was finding out that they could flood that thing. Oh, it was crazy. All right, so Whirlpool Arena. Obs, we're gonna do naval battle. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay. A little less interesting. Oh, you know what though? We could call this one Shark Tank. And basically, you are fighting, right, against others. We could do another like bring the MacGuffin to the center kind of thing. But in this particular one, you don't want to fall in the water because it's going to be full of sharks. Just a shitload of sharks. Lots and lots of sharks. That might be kind of cool. Oh, man. And Roll20 is dead again. Cool. All right, so let's see. Oh, is it back? Maybe? This is going to be hard to run a game tonight if this is what I'm dealing with at only 7 o'clock. All right. So, yeah, this could be pretty fun. I almost think I'd have to go into Photoshop though and either remove this one or add a fourth line to go towards the king, and you basically have those four corners, and they have to come together and in the center and kind of duke it out. Oh, you know it'd be pretty cool. Let's see if Roll20 will let me do anything. Maybe. Okay, it's thinking about it. We'll go to the object layer. Yeah, I also don't want to prep too far into the future, again, because of the migration. Like everything I prep here, I'll have to migrate over anyways, and then I'll have to clean it up after I migrate it. But nothing wrong with planning prep, right? Like just thinking ahead and coming up with some notes and ideas. All right, let's see. Are there any other Chrome things that I could close down that would make this happy and let Roll20 function without crying itself to sleep? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I closed a couple other things down, so hopefully it runs okay for a little while. Let's see. Yeah. So what if this platform right here was elevated? Oh, nice. Good job. So what if? Oh wow, it's just dying, guys. This is a freeform tool, not a polygon tool, by the way. All right. So what if this platform was raised up? Okay. And the idea, we do King of the Hill on a water map. The idea is you have to stay up here as long as possible. But you could be knocked down, which would then take you into the water that is infested with sharks. You have to swim over to a platform, go over, and then climb back up to the top. And then, of course, the creatures that are on top, whoever's on top is going to edge guard, a la Smash Bros, right? And try to keep you from getting onto it. So we need a name that's sort of like King of the Hill, but also takes into account that there's water involved. So let's say this is a King of the Hill, but with sharks. All right. That would be pretty fun too. And I could Photoshop out a lot of this debris that doesn't need to be there, and then duplicate this setup so that it goes over here. Or remove that part so it's just the two lines on the other side. I might do that. Oh, and we're freaking out again. Cool. Oh wow. Okay. Nope. Nope. All right. Are you sufficiently calm? Nope. You're still freaking out. Okay. It could be that there are an ass load of maps on this one map. I mean, I'll admit, there's a lot of maps here. I dropped all like 20 something maps onto one Roll20, and they're all pretty big. But I wanted to be able to see it in Roll20, so that's why I did it. I guess I could have probably done the same thing in Photoshop. All right, I will try and refresh it again. Anybody that's following along, hopefully by now I don't have to explain why I'm leaving Roll20 for Foundry. You just see by now what's happening. Yeah. Of all the ones we've talked about so far, I like the Vulcan's Anvil and the Lion's Gauntlet and the Mario Kart one the most, for sure. Like, those are really cool. But I think all of them kind of offer some fun stuff. I think it'll just come down to what each group is excited about, and what they think their characters will do best at. So, all right. Are we back? Maybe. Okay. All right. And what I will probably do for this is I will also create an overlay map that is a bunch of quote-unquote spectators, so that the stands look full, but it's only one asset to worry about, and it'll be like a compressed, PNG with transparency. We'll just overlay it, and then there'll be a bunch of people in the crowds, just to kind of create the illusion that there's a lot of crowds without killing Roll20 or Foundry or wherever we happen to be. All right, so that is that. Let's see if we could find another map if it's willing to work enough to show us. All right. What else do we got? Ooh, okay. That's another spooky kind of Hell Arena. Okay. So this is Hell Arena with and without crazy magic runes. This one's actually pretty chill, but probably not friendly enough for what we need. I guess if you were running like an Avernus game and you needed an arena, this would be amazing, but I don't think we're going to get much use out of this one. And it looks like we're back to the beginning with the rocks. Okay. Let me go to their Patreon to make sure I didn't miss anything, because I may have missed something. Because I kind of thought there was one that was just water without a whirlpool, or without any obstacles. It'd be easy enough to like Photoshop out the Shark Tank one so that it doesn't have it. Let's see. Go into the ancient map room on the Sizufiku Patreon. We're going to go down to the Coliseum. Maybe? Okay. Coliseum of Challenges. That's a process GIF. I just want the actual map. There we go. Okay. So let's go over here. So we have the OG, the nighttime OG, the water trial, the colonnade, the monster pit, the earth trial, the fire trial, the summoning ritual, enchanted statues, king of the hill, elevated stage, right, where they throw stuff down at you, wind trial, dope, try battle, maelstrom, and kraken. Okay, we have covered all of the arenas, and we have created some cool challenges. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to poll my players, and I'm going to say, these are the things that they do at the Great Games. So I know in advance to prep for them, is there any interest in any of the following events? And then I might have a cool, like, elevator pitch for like each one. Like, do you consider yourself to be, the greatest competitor, the king of all fighters, blah blah blah? And then enter the battle of 100 hands, 50 competitors thrown into one arena, yada 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 yada, and so on and so forth. Of course, to qualify for any of these events, you do have to have completed at least one of these events. That does beg the question, in the preliminaries, if there should be a chariot racing, right? Kind of feels like there should be. So let's add chariot racing real quick. All right. So chariot racing, obviously proficiency in land vehicles. Wow, that doesn't come up much. Vehicles. Okay. That'll automatically get you in. Or a wisdom of 15 plus. Else, you could attempt an untrained wisdom check. Yeah. Yeah, finally. Finally, folk heroes. If there was a folk hero that had the proficiency in chariot racing, oh man, they would just, yeah, they auto qualify, and then they also get, I don't know, double Olympic gold if there's ever such a thing. Um, that always makes me think about Adventure Zone, where Magnus like waited desperately for his chance to use land vehicles. I think we've all been there. All right, you can do an untrained whiz check of 12, or versus. There we go, DC 12. All right, what other basic stuff would we have? It looks like we don't have swimming. I guess swimming needs to be in there. So that seems like it would be sort of like climbing. Climbing isn't in there, is it? No? All right. We could do triathlete. That might work. That'll cover all of them. Triathlete. And then basically running, climbing, swimming. There we go. Why would they have just a competition for jumping? Because jumping's so cool, I guess. I don't know. Based on the events that we had, I feel like triathlete definitely covers all of them. Chariot racing is cool. Talked about a naval battle. Do you have to like show your skill with a ship to qualify for the naval battle? It's a battle though, so I kind of feel like they don't care if you don't know how to sail your boat. It'd actually be more funny if you didn't. So we're gonna leave that out. All right. So basically, there's a couple days of preliminary games. So let's see. The first few days are these simple traditional games. And let's see, in the adventure, winning these basic bitch games netted you some kind of crappy prize. Let's see. Treasure. There we go. You win medals. Let's see. These medals are cheaply made, but they are prized by people of my trust and could be sold to merchants. I like how rich Thylea is, because they're like cheaply made, but it's worth 1,000 gold. When in normal D&D, you make like 1 gold a day if you're a skilled laborer. So it's a cheap ass metal that's worth 1,000 days' wages. Yeah. But then again, everybody in this campaign setting goes around with like an 800 gold piece breastplate on. So, I don't know. I guess it's just a different economy at work. So they're cheaply made, but they're prized by the people of Mitros and can be sold to merchants. Oh, I guess they can be sold. But, I mean, your honor. You know what I'm saying? Your honor. The first place medal is valued at 1,000. The second place is 500, and the third place is 250. Is it like the Olympics? Is it like you awarded for every category? I don't know. Like, is it only for the Great Relay? Like, do you not get medals for anything else? Like, if it's for the Great Relay, does everybody in the relay get a medal? Like, I don't understand. I'm very confused. So that's a whole thing. Let's take this and we'll put it up here in its own section. All right, so the medals are cheaply made, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so preliminary medals. Okay, so there is, I don't know. They wouldn't really think that a gold medal is very valuable, right? Because gold is kind of crap. Like, they like bronze and stuff. So we'll just call it first place. And second place. And third place. Until we come up with something else. So preliminary medals will be for each category. All right. And because this is like basic and you're a basic person and there's 300-ish days in the Thailand year, I think they got a 13-month calendar with 30 days per month or something like that. What is that? 390-day year, something like that. We will say that the first place medal for each category is worth 200 drachmae. And we'll say that I think I do just DR for drachmae instead of gold piece. And then the second place will be 100. Or is that too generous? I don't know. Probably not. And then the third place will be a big old 50 drachmae. Okay. If a PC auto qualifies and no other PCs attempt an event, that PC automatically comes in first place. Because they're freaking heroes and the main characters. Alright, so there's that. If a PC auto qualifies, okay. If multiple PCs auto qualify, whomever has the most qualifications is first, then second, etc. If there is a tie, roll off on the associated skill challenge. Sweet. So that's how we'll determine who gets first, second, and third. And then I should put if a PC does not auto qualify but succeeds, and no other PCs auto qualified. Let's see, check result, and then we'll put 20 plus equals first, 15 plus equals, I don't know, we'll do 16 plus equals second, and then we'll do 12 plus equals third. So just qualifying at all as a PC, they'll at least get to do that. All right, so what this basically means is that for boxing, if I had 6 player characters and none of them, and only one of them wanted to compete in boxing, and that one did not have training in athletics, did not have a strength of 15, and did not have any sort of unarmed strike or natural weapon, they would then roll a strength melee attack roll to see if they qualified at all. If they qualified at all, if they got a 12, they would be third place. If they got a 16 or higher, they would be second place. If they got a 20 or higher, they would be first place, even though they don't have any of that shit. Just because RNGesus, main character syndrome, player characters, heroes, whatever. However, if I had 6 player characters and 3 of them entered boxing, the one who was untrained, etc., 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 no matter how good they do, they're only going to get third place. So then the other 2 that do qualify, if one of them had training athletics, strength of 15 or higher, and an unarmed strike, and the other one only had training and athletics, the one with 3 qualifying features, hey, what's up? The one with 3 qualifying features would automatically get first place. The second one who had 1 qualifying feature would get second place, and then the untrained person who managed to get a 12 or higher would get third place, and none of the NPCs that entered would place at all. Well, they would place, they would rank for the next competition, but they wouldn't win a medal, right? So we're reserving medals. We're treating these medals like American sports participation trophies, is essentially what's happening here. Because we want the players to feel good about something, I guess. All right, if there's not all qualify but succeeds. All right. So that covers that with metals, which is good. Then we can pump the value of the spectacle metals quite a bit. Now, of course, my players, some of them more than others, are going to be greedy little gooses, and they're going to want to know where's their magic items, where's their special sauce, why don't they get the good stuff for coming in first place, blah, 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 blah. The true value of winning this is that you did, right? Like, that's the point. It's not because you get, like, a big cash prize or anything. So, for these events... Because, I mean, these events are pretty expensive to run. We're talking about consumable magic items, flooding an entire arena and filling it with sharks, getting a giant octopus to cooperate, corralling, like, land sharks. They've already spent a lot of money on the spectacle itself. They can't really go and afford to hand out super fancy. So, we will call these spectacle medals. And for the spectacles, the first place medal will be worth, we'll say 500. The second place medal will be worth only 250. There we go. And the third place is only worth 100. Scrolling back up, how does that compare with the original design? Yeah, that scales about right. Okay. All right. Now, the one thing that will be fancy pants is we'll do the Battle of 100 Hands. And maybe for the Battle of 100 Hands, we could have a more significant prize. I am not sure. Maybe you receive like a boon from Kentinamane. So that might work. So, winner receives a boon from Kentinamane. It'd be kind of cool if you grew like a third arm. That'd be kind of awesome, but only for like a little while. Let's do that. Temporarily grow 2 extra arms, which would make you like a Gigan, which would be really rough for some people that don't like Gigans. All right, what does 2 extra arms get you? Basically, extra action per round, as if haste. Lasts for, we'll put it at like an auspicious number, 7, 9, there we go, 9 days. Sweet. Alright, so they really won't get to utilize it for very long, but, I mean, you know, it'll still be kind of cool while they have it. Alright, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so, on that note, it is 7:30. I'm going to go grab some, yes, I hear you, alarm. I'm going to go grab some food, because I got a game at 9. So, it is Odyssey, and hopefully Roll20 will work, and we will play some Odyssey. So if you are interested, I'll be hosting the game. Cinderclaw will be running the game. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you then, or I'll see you tomorrow, because I'm going to keep trying to stream prep every day. So, hope everybody has a good evening. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the cool ideas. And as I develop this document further, eventually I'll just put it out there for anybody that wants to use it. I'm sure it's got my attention, so I'm sure I'm gonna go in and kind of peck away at it over the next couple of days, and expand them out, even if my players aren't going to do them, just out of curiosity. So, all right, later, everybody.